Today we have with us is Kiran PV. He's All India rank 100 of Civil Service Exam 2021, and he's All India topper of Personality Test of Civil Service Exam 2021. Kiran, welcome to IAS HUB.
Thank you so much.
Can you share with us your UPSC journey?
I started out in 2017. I wrote the exam 5 times, and thankfully this was my last attempt that I've made it this time. So in 2017, I wrote the exam without studying. That was a very huge mistake. I would never advise it to anyone. 2018, I did not make it through the prelims. 2019, I made the prelims, but I couldn't make the mains. And 2020, again, I didn't make the prelims. And in 2021, thankfully I could make it through the prelims, mains, and the personality test and secure the 100th.
It's the mistakes from which we learn. So what are the mistakes which you did all these years?
So it's said that wise people learn from other people's mistakes. So I hope people can learn from my mistakes and share them. So in 2017, I wrote without preparing. That was a huge mistake. I should have prepared. I should have given it whatever I could have at that point of time and written it. In 2017, I didn't do that. And in 2018, what happened was I studied, but I never gave a practice session for MCQs. So what happened was I could not adjust to the exam atmosphere and tackle MCQs in the exam scenario, and again I failed the prelims. Then in 2019, I had enough practice. I studied, practiced MCQs a lot, did a lot of questions, and I made it through the prelims. So once I made it through the prelims, I was not prepared enough on my optionals, and hence I had only 200 marks for my optionals, which is not adequate. So after 2019, I studied my options more, and then comes 2020, the Corona year. So the Corona year was a strange year because we were all locked down, we were all at home, and I was studying at that point too. But then what happened was during the Corona year, my examination happened in an institute which was located in a hill. So I had to climb the hill, and also I had to walk a lot there. And since it was the Corona year, I was not physically fit. Wearing a mask and walking so much made me tired. And finally, I ended up in the exam hall, not giving my best there. So I was not able to concentrate enough or even do my best there. So that was the biggest mistake in 2020, because it was not a preparation mistake. It was basically I did not do exam simulation there. So that was the mistake. And in 2021, I learned from all of this. So I did my MCQs, I had prepared my optionals, and whenever I did my tests at home, I did the exam simulation. So I would write my tests at the same time that the exams would happen. So if it was a prelims test, I would try to write it between 9:30 and 11:30, and I would try to even wear a mask at home when I did the test paper. So those are the things that you have to do, and those are the things that made me clear this. So to all the people who are seeing this video, I would say analyze, understand where you went wrong, and fix them. That would help you best.
Working since last 10 years, Kiran.
Yes.
So there have been a lot of working professionals who have this doubt whether to take the preparation along with the job, or they have to resign the job and start the preparation. So what do you have to tell them?
I certainly believe that UPSC preparation and your job can be continued on together, because if we do proper time management and if we are able to prioritize things correctly, we can definitely balance the two out. So for me, I had a work schedule from 9 to 6. So my work would start at 9 and end at 6, and I would work at that time. So no UPSC preparation during that time. But after 6, I have the whole evening or the night left, and also before 9, I have the whole morning also. So these are time slots which I utilize for my UPSC preparation. And besides that, there are always weekends where you can go all out. So definitely time management, a good plan and prioritization is what you need to continue working as well as preparing the civil services.
You said you failed 4 times in civil service exam.
Yes.
So why did you continue this journey despite 4 failures and motivated you to be in this journey?
See, each time I failed, I count it as a lesson that I've learned because each failure had its reason, as I said earlier. So there was a reason that could be fixed in the next attempt. So that is what I did basically. So
You said this was your 5th attempt.
yes.
Despite having a very good job, why did you still write for the 5th time?
So every time that I had attempted this examination, I learned a new lesson. So as I said before, every single attempt that I've made, if I do a retrospective, I was able to find something that I could improve in the next attempt. So that was one of the reasons why I kept on going. And definitely there is always the bigger goal that we have in mind of making positive change, which is the reason why I set out to do this. So that is definitely the ultimate goal which should keep you going through all the things that you have to go through when you prepare for the civil services exam.
So you are the All India topper of personality test.
Yes.
How did you prepare for the personality test?
So for the personality test, I basically did a lot of reading on current affairs, fundamentally international relations and what's happening around the world. And other than that, I gave a lot of mocks. So the particular mock that I gave at IAS HUB was also really helpful. So even when you give mocks, you have to understand that in certain mocks, they give you very valuable comments, but in certain mocks, you just have to also understand those comments might not be accurate. So I would suggest that for interview preparation, candidates should give maximum mocks, and at the same time, or take all the feedback on a slightly lighter note as well, and also at the same time prepare on conventional things. And there are many social media platforms where interview transcripts come. So if candidates can monitor that, they would get an idea of how the board is addressing each candidate, and there would be definitely be some questions which are common to all some candidates. So if you take my case, I got a common question that I had seen in the transcript, which was what was the difference between World Bank and IMF. So these kind of things, if we do on a rigorous basis, I think the interview is doable for everyone. But definitely, if candidates are weak in their communication skills or their articulation of ideas, that is also something additionally that they could work on.
Can you share with us your interview experience?
Yeah, sure. So my interview was done by the UPSC chairman himself, Mathews sir. So it was a very good experience. None of the mocks were actually very close to it, but it was a very good experience. But the mocks actually made me very well prepared for the actual interview. So I felt very comfortable during my actual interview. So the board tried to make me comfortable with small talk initially. Then they asked very relevant questions regarding society, regarding the work background that I had, regarding my options, which is public administration. And I even got questions from my hobbies, which was watching football. So one of the questions that was asked to me was, what was the length of the football field? And funnily enough, I didn't know it. Okay, so you don't have to answer every question in your interview to top the interview. So I have proof of that.
Kiran, for the young aspirants who are watching this, some of them are in school, some of them are in college, and some of them are preparing after college. What would be your message to them?
So I think for the people who are in school or college, I would say, you can't really learn stuff for the civil service examination right now. So I would say enjoy your school life or your college life and make most of it. But at the same time, work on things that you can develop at that age itself. So I would say work on good communication skills, because that'll be always be your asset, because you can use that in your mains descriptive answer writing or in your interview personality test communication. So work on your communication skills, then work on your rationality and logical thinking, because if you have that, it will help you tremendously in all through your journey and also in life. Then I think also the good common sense, if people can also get that or be made to think on things, I think that will also help them. So I think these things for people who are in school and college, if it can be imparted to them through some means, that will really help them, not only in civil service preparation but for whatever they are pursuing in life. As for people who are pursuing civil service after college, I would say go with good institutions and a good mentor, and prepare for your prelims and mains and options really well. And I would say prioritize and also be systematic and manage time for aspirants who are pursuing this full time.
In civil service, we keep hearing that smart work is needed more than hard work. What do you have to say about that?
I think smart work and hard work are needed, but you have to be smart first to work hard. So when you say smart work, you have to prioritize accordingly because there are a lot of topics. So civil service, you could be asked about anything under the sun, to be honest. And so for that reason, you have to do an analysis and understand what topics would give you better returns on your investment. So in this case, what we are investing is time. So if we say we read a topic for 5 hours and there's a probability of getting one question out of it, then that's good. But if you read for 50 hours and then we have a probability of one question be coming out of that topic, I don't think it has to be prioritized high. It has to be prioritized low. So I'm not saying that low priority topics have to be should not be studied. It has to be studied, but the priority that's assigned to them, given on your situation or your time constraint, should be accordingly set. So I would always advise people to do a 10-year analysis of previous year question papers, understand the topics which are really coming up and also giving you rich dividends for your investment, and then I would advise people to prioritize accordingly and study accordingly from their sources. And I personally think that during your civil service preparation, you don't need to study from multiple sources. So if you study from one source and you're thorough about your thing, you can make it through. So you need to be sure about whatever you're studying and thorough about whatever you're studying. That will get you through.
Kiran, IAS HUB is the first academy in capital of Kerala. This year we are celebrating our 30th year. There are a lot of students here who are studying at the academy for our PCM batch who are using our hostel, reading room and the academy. What will be your message to them?
So to all the students who are here at IAS HUB, I would say do smart work, at the same time work hard on the smart priorities that you have made, and also chase your dreams no matter what, because that is really important. So I am at the fag end of the age limit and I still made it through, and despite having a good job and having multiple attempts, I did continue pursuing this. So to all those students who are seeing this video, I would say work smart, prioritize, do some analysis on things that are not happening for you, and then gradually things will start falling into place once you do this analysis, fix those things that you're doing wrong. And to IAS HUB, I would like to congratulate you guys for completing 30 years. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Kiran, thank you so much for joining us today. And IAS HUB is wishing you all the best in your life.
Thank you, Kirans. So I would also like to wish IAS HUB all the very best, and I hope to see many more great ventures from you and many more great civil servants emerging from your institute. So all the very best to IAS HUB and team.
Thank you.